Hey everyone, my name is Ford Stokes and I'm the CEO and founder of Active Wealth Management. And I'm here with Brandy Seeds, who's head of our financial planning team. Say hello, Brandy.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for attending the webinar today. We're really excited to have you with us here and hopefully share some education with you guys about the Beneficiary Liquidity Plan.
Yeah, and so if you've ever Googled Beneficiary Liquidity Plan, you'll find that our firm comes up first on Google. We're very proud of that. The Beneficiary Liquidity Plan is a big deal. It's something that we've kind of come up with an exclusive partner that we work with that allows us to be able to give money to your beneficiaries within 24 to 48 hours of your passing without a death certificate, which we think is incredibly exciting. It's also a tax-free death benefit as well. And we're going to get right into it. Brandy and I put together a short PowerPoint. We're going to try to get in and out of here in less than 10 minutes for you. But we feel like this time is going to be very well spent, and it's going to be a great way for you to leave a remarkable legacy with your family. So one thing that we found is that America's actually got a beneficial liquidity crisis. There's plenty of people who have lots of families have been able to figure this out, right? They've been able to figure out, okay, mom and dad passes away. We've got to have some way of paying for the funeral. Usually it falls on the wealthy kids to go into their pocket or someone to put stuff on their credit cards or whatever. And then there's quibbling and squabbling over how do we pay for things? Well, did you know that Prince's family, even though his estate was worth over $300 million, they were not even able to afford to be able to pay for his funeral. He controlled everything. He didn't have a beneficial liquidity plan. He didn't have anything in process, and they had to borrow up to $20,000 from George Lopez to be able to pay for his funeral and to get some travel expenses to get some of the family in. Frank Wheaton, who's the attorney, why don't you share that, Brandy, about what happened there?
Yeah, the attorney for Prince's family, his name's Frank Wheaton, and he was quoted saying that Lopez helped us out tremendously and we're extremely grateful. And it's kind of shocking to think about somebody that had an estate of $300 million had to have help to pay for his final expenses for his family to cover those things. So that's why we believe it's very important to kind of have a plan.
Agree. And I would have thought that Prince's funeral would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars because so many people would have wanted to go, right? So one thing that Brandy talks about is, hey, this happens every day, but Brandy, what's your thoughts about how it affects folks right here in Georgia?
So in Georgia, your death certificate can take up to 21 days, or maybe up to 30 days. Was it 30 days?
Over 21 days right now.
Over 21 days to get a death certificate, which means that whatever funds that you might have available could be locked up for that long, meaning that your family is going to have to, potentially debt finance those final expenses because they might not have access to the funds, or it could just kind of cause strife within the family. I don't know about the viewers, but I have experienced a few funerals myself, and it's kind of always a struggle, and it's not so much a celebration of your life when it should be, because you have these like family issues, which is why having a plan is going to be very beneficial to everyone so that they can enjoy celebrating your life. So what is your plan for your beneficiaries to manage your final expenses?
Yeah, a lot of people just don't know the answer to that question, right? And because they don't have a plan. Well, they're like, well, I've put my daughter on my checking account. Well, is she put on there as an and or an or? Is she a co-signer or is she a co-owner? Did you know that a lot of those relationships die if you were to pass away and that you don't have access to the bank account legally? Also, banks are very hesitant to give any money over without a death certificate because they do not want to be sued by other beneficiaries or have other problems.
Right. So not having a plan at all is a plan. It's just the worst kind of plan. So if you do currently have a plan, you might think that it is covered with things like life insurance or bank money or annuities or maybe investments or even a power of attorney. But each of those, like Ford just said, have to be set up correctly in order for that to really work. And for the most part, they all require a death certificate, with the death certificate taking 21 days to become available, at least in the state of Georgia. That can really, put some big hurdles for your family to jump through during your last days.
Yes, and then so a simple solution is a beneficiary liquidity plan. You can use money you already have. There's no need to come up with additional funds. You're going to give this money to your family anyway. We're just putting it in a different place.
Mm-hmm.
Funds can grow tax deferred and pass tax free to your named beneficiaries. You also pay zero commissions or any advisory fee money on these plans, because the folks that provide these policies actually pay the advisor like us, and they're going to make money off of your money. Hopefully you're going to live a long time. Our goal is for, we want you to all live to be over 100 years old and to be on the Today Show and that segment that gets sponsored, by Smuckers with Al Roker and originally with Willard Scott back in the day. We want you to live that long and to really enjoy, weddings and college graduations and grandkids and great grandkids. We want you to be able to enjoy all of that. But with coronavirus and a lot of people being concerned out there, we just wanted to answer a lot of the questions we're getting with this webinar, because we're getting inundated with questions coming into our office. Also, the death benefit, it is paid out within 24 to 48 hours without a death certificate. And how this works is it works where the funeral director will sign off on a letter or an affidavit stating that you have passed away. And that's how we're able to accomplish it. This is all set up within a policy that also has an irrevocable trust within the policy, and none of it requires any additional legal fees. So you're able to get additional leverage on your money because you're saving money you would have paid to have an irrevocable trust set up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Brandy, who qualifies for this?
So in order to qualify for a beneficiary liquidity plan, there are no health qualifications for the applicant. It also can issue to anyone that is 99 or younger. And it's a simple 4-page application, and the maximum allowable amount is $100,000 per person. That's between $5,000 and $100,000.
Most people are putting in $20,000 to $25,000 to pay for their funeral. A couple is paying like $40,000 to $50,000. If you've got money sitting around from an RMD that's just sitting in a bank CD or sitting in a money market account or your checking account, we work with a lot of clients that have over $100,000 in cash just sitting in their checking account because they feel more comfortable with that. That's totally fine. But what's nice is you can take some of that money, have it growing at CD and money market like rates, CDs and saving account rates, have it growing at that level, and also passing on to your beneficiaries tax-free where they get the step-up basis. And so we think that is a great way to go.
Yeah, so you're just taking those funds from one vehicle and putting them into another vehicle to make things work a little bit more smoothly.
Yeah, and also just to make sure that they go very quickly within 24 to 48 hours. And then also you get to spend time with your advisor, whether it's us or whoever. It's a really great way to go where they're the ones giving the check to the beneficiaries. So that they're able to spend time with the advisor and get an idea of what to do with the funds later, the overall inheritance.
So with the beneficiary liquidity plan, in summary, what you're doing is leaving money to your beneficiaries. You're not giving them any more or any less than what you intended for them to have. And you're simply providing access to your predetermined amount within 24 to 48 hours of your passing, so that you don't add any financial burden to your family. They don't have to wait for 21 days to get a death certificate. And this relieves the burden by allowing them to access the money they're eventually going to receive anyways. So just like Ford said, if you had funds in a CD or you're taking RMDs, you're going to leave that to your beneficiaries anyways when you're no longer with us. So you might as well, move it into a different vehicle, at least a small portion of it that kind of helps your family to prepare for those final expenses. And it eliminates the death certificate requirements. And and allows them to access it 30 to 60 days faster.
Yes. And so we'll do everything we can to help you through this final piece of your financial plan. But we really encourage you to get this final piece because it's the best way I've seen and the lowest cost to be able to show and build a remarkable legacy. It's kind of like one of the big three legs in the stool for a remarkable legacy, whether it's doing a Roth conversion. So you've got a much low, you're passing on a Roth IRA rather than a beneficiary IRA to your heirs. So there's no taxes for them as long as it's below 11,580,000. Next is if you can help grandkids with indexed universal life policies, help provide college for them. That's a great way to leave a great legacy. Both of those are all much more expensive. If you just put $20,000 to $25,000 away and prepay for your funeral, and also whether they want to use that money to fly relatives in for your funeral or go on a cruise with the immediate family, or if they want to just fix up the family home and get that ready for sale, so it can benefit all the beneficiaries, all of your kids. It's a great way to go, and it's a great way to have this plan, but it truly is the final piece of your financial plan. And I would encourage you to go ahead and do something about this now, not later. Brandy, anything else, final thoughts you want to share? I think we're talking about how it's touched this a little bit.
Not really. I think you covered most of the important parts there. I do want to encourage everybody, if we covered something today that kind of stands out to you, or you're not really sure what your plan entails, if you are planning on life insurance or your beneficiaries are a joint owner of your bank account, but you want to make sure that that's really set up correctly, then maybe reach out to us so that we can help to identify those issues for you. And you can do that by visiting our website, activewealth.com. In the top right-hand corner, you can click on the Set an Appointment button and set an appointment directly into our calendar, either with Ford or myself. You can also reach out to us. Our phone number is 770-685-1777, and we'd be happy to set up an in-person or a Zoom video call. And I would say that especially during this time, it's really important to make yourself a priority and make your family a priority. So don't procrastinate and kind of wait till, you know, something else comes up. You really want to get ahead of whatever issues might arise down the road, and just check this off your list and make an appointment or give us a call as soon as you can.
The one question I've gotten a lot is, am I going to meet with you or Brandy Ford, or are you going to pass it off to another associate? No, you're going to meet directly with one of the two of us, or maybe both of us. We do like to work as a team quite a bit. We'd love the chance and the opportunity to help you and your family with a beneficiary liquidity plan. We appreciate you paying attention to this short webinar. We hope it provided enough value for you today and good education, because you may not have known that a beneficiary liquidity plan even existed, and that you could pass money on to your heirs tax-free within 24 to 48 hours, but you absolutely can. And so I encourage you to give our office a call again at 770-685-1777 to work with either Brandy or myself. Brandy's email is brandy@activewealth.com, and mine is Ford@activewealth. We're here to help you any way we can. And we hope everyone stays safe out there, and try to plan in advance for what is eventually going to happen. We don't work with any immortals, unfortunately. It would be great to work with folks who are immortal. So we would encourage you to really jump on this beneficiary liquidity plan and get started in building your remarkable family legacy right away.
Thank you, everybody, for attending today.
Absolutely. Thank you.